shift to the Western Conference, though, because Game 5 was last night, and it's safe to say, we'll start in the San Antonio side, then we'll go to Oklahoma City. It's safe to say that Victor Wembanyama didn't have his best day at the office. We can show you his numbers just straight up if we have the graphic. Here it is. Victor Wembanyama, 20 points, but he was 4-15 shooting, 6 rebounds, which is not good for a guy who's his size, obviously. 3 blocks, that's about what he gets per game. But again, 4-15 for the field. He only hit 1 shot every quarter. That was it. 0 of 5 from three-point range. He hit his free throws, but that was it. And I know you guys are maybe going to expect me to come out on the show today as a guy who picked the Spurs to win the championship back in February, who obviously picked them to win the series, and who said after Game 1, after Wemby's masterpiece, yeah, that might be the best basketball player I've ever seen. Not greatest, best. You might be expecting me to be like, oh gosh, not looking so good. And you'll be sorely disappointed because I still wholeheartedly believe in the Spurs team. I'll tell you exactly why. First of all, I picked Oklahoma City to win Game 5 before Game 5. I'm like, they're at home. They had a bad second half. Chet was bad. There was a lot of noise about whether he can play better. He stepped up and performed well. Thunder at home. Role players will step up. Like I expected Oklahoma City to win last night, and they did. I was a little shocked that the Spurs, for as poorly as they played at times in the second half, were able to cut it to 5 at some points, but then Shea would hit a big shot, or Jared McCain would hit a big shot, or Caruso. So that didn't shock me. Here's what I think. Because I discussed the clips on social media about how 2-2 series, Shea hasn't played that well. This is kind of his moment to step up, to show that he is back-to-back MVP, show that he's an all-time great as he's trying to become. Game 5, we'll get to his performance, kind of a mixed bag. This might be Wemby's moment. You can say, well, what about Game 1? He probably won't have a better game than he had in Game 1. 41-24 is pretty sick. But down 3-2, and there was Wemby actually got in trouble for this, rightfully so, because broke protocol. Wemby, came out of the game, just maybe might have said there was some physicality going on at the end with some of the bench warmers, Mason Plumlee. Like, what's that about with Jared McCain? Did Wemby have something to do with that? We know how competitive he is. And then he skipped media availability. Like, we don't have any Wemby clips because he didn't speak to the media, and he got fined for, or I think he had a warning for that. With the noise about Chet, we know how Wemby and Chet feel about each other, or more so how Wemby feels about Chet. I think Chet is more just annoyed that Wemby is obsessed with him. It feels like Wemby does not like this guy, and it shows. The noise about Chet steps up, plays well. Hartenstein, who barely got any playing time in Game 1, has been phenomenal against Wemby, with the exception of Game 4 in San Antonio. It's now a situation where, dang, now pressure's on you, young fella. I know it's year 3, but like, you better force Game 7. You cannot go home in Game 6 on your home floor. Oklahoma City has kind of had stretches where they haven't played terribly well. They've been injured. You got to step up and win Game 6. With the noise, with even the criticism of skipping out on press availability, with the fact that his rival Chet balled out in Game 5, make no mistake about it. Wemby he took 15 shots. And Mitch Johnson even talked about it at the game. He called out his star players. Like, he's got to take more shots. I know he attempted 12 free throws, so that would tell you he's aggressive. He's got to take more shots. There were also aspects, and again, this shows what a good job Hartenstein has done, but also the fact that Wemby, he is in year 3, he has 22. He's got to get more of, to put it in basketball terms, more of a bag. Yeah, there used to be a discussion for years. LeBron doesn't have a bag. It's like, well, he's the all-time leading scorer. He has some kind of bag. If you're Wemby, I felt like he kept kind of going back to the same move, and Hartenstein was ready for it. I expect him to make those adjustments. I expect him to shoot better from the three-point line, and I expect him to, right off the bat, just because we saw Chet was aggressive right off the bat last night. I think the same thing's going to be true of Wemby in Game 6. So I'm not worried about the Spurs. I do think they're going to win Game 6, and I picked them in 7. I'm sticking to that. So wasn't great. There is the concern, okay, how healthy is Fox and Dylan Harper, and is the moment maybe too big for some of the other guys like Stephon Castle? There was discussions about, is Wemby gassed, or is the moment too big for him? I do not believe that. I just don't. Again, the Spurs had to win Game 4. Had to. After a brutal second half of Game 3, they did. Wemby was awesome. Wemby set the tone. He's the type of dude kind of understands, there's an element of letting the game come to you, but there's times in sports, man, where the superstars got to step up and say, heck with all this, I'm the man, and I'm going to assert my dominance from the opening tip. And I think Wemby's going to do that. And so, didn't play well, make no mistake about it. He's going to bounce back in Game 6. No way on planet Earth he gets eliminated on his home floor on Thursday night. And I think we get a Game 7, which I think is what a lot of us felt like, whether you pick the Spurs or OKC, that's where a lot of us felt like this was going to go. San Antonio's going to win 2 basketball games to get to the finals. So I trust Wemby. I think he's going to play a phenomenal game 6, and that's where I'm at. So as far as that, let's transition to Oklahoma City. Man, talking about this team's weird. It's just weird. So, okay. It's like you have to give this disclaimer every time because it's true. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is phenomenal. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deserved back-to-back league MVPs. If I had an MVP vote, I'd have given it to him last year. I said that on the show last year. I'd have given it to him this year. I think he's deserving for a number of reasons for those separate awards. However, and this is how this could be a controversial statement is I have no idea. We have eyeballs. We are able to watch the games. And by the way, thanks to the advent of social media, we're able to watch some of these clips back and see, oh yeah, he literally, when he goes on the jump shot, he just falls. Like he's on it. He takes a jump shot. There's nobody in the area and he just falls to his knees. Or if there's minimal contact under the basket, I think it was Dylan Harper. It was Vassell Dylan Harper. I think it was Dylan Harper. Kind of a light shove, Shai falls to the ground. And it's not even just Shai. It's the other Jalen Williams was sold a terrible flop earlier or later in the game, I should say. Jeremy McCain, like it's become kind of an epidemic with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And with Shai, it is fair to say that in the postseason, it's kind of reliant on the free throw line and getting to the line. And the numbers last night would show you that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he had 32 and 9, but he had 6 turnovers. That's not great. 7 of 19 for the field. He did hit 2 of his 3 3-pointers to his credit. 16 of 17 from the free throw line. And I think this was a big discussion. I saw someone say on social media, like, man, y'all would have hated Dwayne Wade in his prime, like around like the 2000s. There was that infamous, was it game 5? I think of the 06 finals. I forget which. I think it was game 5 of the 06 finals where Wade shot like 24, 25 free throws and the Mavs were pissed about it. Like, how is he getting so many attempts? Listen, Shai's not the only, let's put it this way. Shai's not the only guy who foul baits. In the past or in the present, like Jalen Brunson, I love Jalen. But there are moments you're watching like, oh, come on, Jalen. Like I get it. You get to the free throw line. It's not as I've called it, unbasketball-like moves that Brunson makes as opposed to Shai. Brunson will kind of like jump into a guy, throw the basketball at the rim. Shai just falls. I mean, they literally did. Tom Haberstroh, who's one of the best journalists in the business, has done some great pieces over the years. He literally did a piece that showed that I think Shai flops more times or is on the ground more times than like Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and Wemby combined or something crazy. And Wemby's a center. Donovan Mitchell is known for scoring in the paint, dunking on people. And obviously, what's my man's name? Brunson gets score in the paint as well. And he's on the floor more than those guys put together. Like that's a problem. And so, and by the way, even Shai, to his credit, and this is one of the reasons I like Shai actually, is that keeps it real, is honest, and has very much of an even keel personality. He was asked after the game about his performance, and he didn't mince words.
I might have had the worst start to a basketball game in my career, but the group held it down, kept us in the game. Somehow we still won the first quarter, but that's just a testament to the guys in the locker room. I've been saying it all year. We're a group of 1 through 15. We wouldn't be this deep in the season without the guys, everybody on the team, and it just showed again tonight.
Lastly, when are you going to think you had a good game?
When I have a good game.
Thank you, Shai.
Appreciate it.
And again, he has, I mean, the numbers would back it up. Even with Wemby's performance last night, he has vastly outplayed Shai in this series. So Shai, who's the scorer, is scoring 2 fewer points a game on way less efficiency. Wemby shooting 14% from the field greater than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's shooting 9% better from 3-point range on more attempts, I might add. Obviously, he's averaging more rebounds. Shai's obviously averaging more assists, and Wemby's averaging more blocks. Like this has been a series that if you had to pick the MVP, because I've been doing MVP of the conference finals since I think 2022, if you had to ask me who's the MVP of the Western Conference Finals, I'd say thus far the Oklahoma City Thunder bench. Like that, they've been the difference in the series. They were fantastic. Basically won that game 3 in San Antonio. They were great last night. McCain and Caruso, and even with these guys out, J-Dub and AJ Mitchell, they just have so many bodies that they can just throw on the floor that can give you great minutes on both sides of the floor. And that, I mean, even Dagnall, who's done a great job in the series, he's out here throwing Kenrich Williams on the floor. He's hitting a 3. Like the depth of this Thunder team, I don't think anyone can sing his praises high enough. Sam Presti is the best executive in all of basketball, and it's not even close. Like the roster he's put together, Fits perfectly for the modern NBA. It's long-range defenders who can shoot. That's what he's done. But Thunder fans acting like, and I've said this over and over, Thunder fans act like, yeah, you know why you hate us? You hate us because we win and we're the defending champions, and we might very well win another championship. No. No matter of fact, if anyone's watching, maybe some people are, but if you watch this show for any length of time, NFL, NBA, baseball, really the only problem I have is it with dynasties to a degree is college sports, because it's not like Rutgers gets the first overall pick in the college football draft. That's not a thing. Like, the best teams, the rich get richer in college football. Whereas in professional sports, you're the worst team to get the first pick. Is that when it comes to Oklahoma City, I don't hate them because they're good. I've said religiously, dynasties are great for sports. Adam Silver instituting, and it wasn't just Adam Silver, but he's the commissioner. He gets credit when things go well, blame when things don't. This new CBA, which basically prevents teams from becoming dynasties, actually punishes teams like Oklahoma City who, wait a second, we draft well, we are a smart front office, we develop our players well, and yet we can't keep the guys in our roster who we handpicked, who we homegrown, that are homegrown guys. That's not fair. That's not good competition. I'm 100% pro OKC on that. And I think the CBA sucks now and prevents dynasties, which history has shown NBA has been at its most popular when it's had a dominant dynasty, when it's had a villain. So obviously now I'm a Warriors fan. Of course I didn't hate the Warriors. I never hated the Heatles. I don't imagine I'd have hated the Jordan Bulls, the Magic Lakers, or the Bird Celtics. That's good for the NBA. Dominance at the top is good for the NBA, just like it's good for the NFL and it's good for Major League Baseball. The Dodgers have been the best thing that have happened to Major League Baseball in decades. We have a super team. We have a villain. That creates intrigue. I love it. I dislike watching the Oklahoma City Thunder because half the time they're not playing basketball, guys. It's not to say they're not a great defensive team. They are. Not to say Shea shouldn't be a back-to-back MVP. He is. It's to say you're watching the game and there's no other way to say it other than guys are just falling. Like that's what it is with minimal contact. Again, Haberstroh did the report. Shea falls to the floor more often more often than Wemby, Brunson, and Donovan Mitchell combined. That's a problem. I mean, I know Wemby, I know SGA is slight, but he's not that slight. He's not like a 12-year-old playing against grown men. Like he's a professional athlete. He's a strong kid. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.